हाँ, चला गया भाई साहब। हाँ। Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today we're going to discuss the Sanatan Hinduism and media. You can think why this subject we're going to discuss, but this is very important. Last 6 months, we have been just viewing and just analyzing and watching, reading how the some groups globally is trying to hamper, trying to corner Hinduism, who is what is the oldest religion in the world as per record. As you know it, 15,000 years old. But how we have been cornered, why we have been cornered, what's the reason behind it? Why the Hinduism misrepresented media? What's the reason behind it? Either Hinduism in the America, either in the Africa, either in the Europe, and more than I think 30 crores. So outside, and it is also a matter of fact. Hindus do not have the history of invading other countries. You can find other religions how they have invaded, how they tortured us in all manners. Some they have sent the missionaries to other countries, preaching to them and their own religions, are evilly trying to persuade and intimidate them to adopt. No, they have not economically exploited other countries as their colonies. They have never said that truth or God belongs to only to Hindus, and those who believe otherwise are unglorious sinners. Just like the missionaries and others, Hindu has a history of the tolerance and respect for all religions, which is almost unparalleled to the rest of the world. This is the fact, either you accept it or not. Yes, we find in the news media, including that India itself, that is a Bharat, anti-Hindu attitudes are common. And the so-called, I think, so-called the leftists on the just left, and then one and quarter states out of the 40 in Bharat. The left is just how the philosophy is going to be die day by day. They are on the papers, they are on media, nothing else. Hindus are spoken or of in negative way that is not done relative to the religious groups whose behavior has been more violent, exclusive and oppressive. Anti-Hindu statements appear to be acceptable to everyone and no one questions them very much. Why? Let us take the Ayodhya incident, December 1992. News throughout the world stated the Hindu militants destroyed mosque. What does it mean? Now, how the Supreme Court proved that was mosque or this is only just a structure? That is a fact. This is historical fact now. Everybody knows. The projecting the image of Hindus, both a militant, the mosque destroyer. How they just painted Bhagavad Atangavad in Hindi, the saffron terrorists. What nonsense. Sometimes we can understand the enemies of Hindus are only Hindu, not others. This is also a fact. Hindus groups involved in the demolish the building that was built by the Muslim invader from Central Asia from 4th century ago. And the building has been used as a mosque, but not over the 50 years, which has been last time Islamic worship performed there. That is now history now, so I'm not going to discuss the more. Now, Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple is going to be already on the a speedy way, and I think by 2023, anybody can visit the place. In a very fast way, they're working. So I'm not going to discuss. And if you see the Hinduism and the Hindus and Sikhs might add the thousands of battles over the centuries to reclaim the sites and succeeded several times in holding their under power. This is also the facts. And as we know it, and how actually the site was not on the only like Makkah and Medina, but one in 7 sacred cities of the Hindu, calling the site of mosque as inaccurate. And so many lies. If you see the Qutub Minar, all are based on the all distorted facts. That's just trying to distort the history of the Bharat and Hindus about that, whatever there. How the Islamic invasions in India. Everybody knows how the India attacks the Islamic lands. Do you, have you seen any Hindu attack on any Islamic land? I don't think you can't find any place, any data, any incident till now. And the many great temples of the Chinese travelers, the 7th century, throughout India, which are not only Hindu but Buddhist and Jain, cannot find today. What? Where they disappeared? What's the reason behind it? This is also a matter of fact. So we should understand how the one groups in the media is trying to destroy the image of Hindus with all the regions, all the missions, all the strategy, all the narratives, and try to narratives making them out. So you all here mostly this is all the media people. That's why I think we should discuss with the time and accordingly how the new narratives why should not be formed. We have Bandana Jinganji from Chicago, senior journalist. Alok Laharji from Spain, senior journalist. Anita Chaudharyji from Bharat, senior journalist now, fighting with the so many corners or the so-called Hindus and so-called Islamists and others. So who have been seen our screen also another way. So always ready to the warrior. So we can say the Hindu warrior of the country, and just like the Vandanaji, although single when fighting the USA, has seen so many times in Chicago and many parts of USA, how she fights with the concern. They don't know the history of Hindus and Hinduism. So that she tried to learn, and how Alokji is also just explained that more than 20 years. So starting from the Vandanaji. So and Vandanaji, her herself not say about that she has made more than 45 temples in the US. This is her contribution apart from the journalism media. So Vandanaji, how just to think that the narratives are going to be changed, always try to change as in the American media and other way of media, another country of media.
Namaskar, everyone, to the people those who are watching as well as the panelists. The subject, the minute I think you sent me a message, I just jumped onto it. It's so close to my heart. I just want to start my this thing. Sanatan had been there before Jesus was anywhere. Sanatan has been there where Prophet was there. They have gone, but we are still in existence. So Adi se Ant tak. I think we have been in existence. We are realizing it. I always say that we have not been stupid. We have been naive. So let it happen, let it happen. People have come, invaded, but we are still there. And in the recent years, like, we just saw how the narratives, which has been, it has not set overnight. It has been incoming, in making. Somebody was praising, like, now the Chidiya's boss is also one Indian, Parag Agarwal. I said, we start jumping. I said, jab tak padega Bharat, tab tak uncha rahega America. Like all the technological companies, let this
Yeah.
be, it means like, so all the CEOs are of Indian origin. And we are celebrating to an extent. But when we talk about being Bharatiya, so I think 2-3 days ago, if somebody does not admit that, first it was the DNA issue, but it was not clarified. But now with this statement of Mohan Bhagwat ji, because agar Hindustan mein hai to Hindu hai, so that has been the clarification that he gave. It came after maybe 3 or 4 weeks of the DNA statement, which was little confusing.
I just try to wonder one fact, so I just you may continue further.
Huh?
Just you're talking to the CEOs of the Indian CEOs, Bharatiya CEOs, even USA, Sundar Pichai from Google and Satya Nadella from the Microsoft, Santanu Narayan from Adobe, Arvind Krishna from IBM, and now you're talking of the Parag Agrawal from the Twitter. Social media saying the social media and the Bharatiya CEO and the Pak CEOs, Hafiz Saeed, Masood Azhar, Zakir Rahman, Noor Wali, and Yusuf Mansoor Khurshani. So this is a very good comparative. So just I want to read it. So Hafiz Jai is JUD, Masood Azhar JEM, Zagur Rahman Lakwi LET, and Noor Ali and TTP Yusuf Masood Ali J. Like that. So you one can understand how this narrative they are trying to distort. So carry on, Vandana ji. Just try to add
बढ़ेगा
your
इंडिया तभी तो बढ़ेगा अमेरिका. So that is
yeah,
what the title they have given. Hi
yeah,
Dheeraj, how are
yeah.
you?
How are
And
you? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so coming back to that, this feels like, you know, what they used to talk about, we the people of Indian origin earlier. Now everyone, let this be elected officials from any party, the contribution of people of Bharat Sanatanis cannot be ignored. And Dheeraj will agree with me, this time the fervor of Diwali, like, you know, has been so many folds. In the month of September, on the anniversary of 9/11, the 20th anniversary of 9/11, they had a conference called Dismantling Global Hindutva. They made a mistake. The title should have been Dismantling Islamic Radical Islam. But the mistake fell back on their face. Very less attendees, and the October came as a fervor, which was the first Hindu Heritage Month. I'm proud to say that, Anita ji, this was, we requested only 22 states. We got from more than 25 states, 50% of it. It was just like fraction of few weeks of preps, like, you
First
know,
time in the
and
American
more
history.
than, yeah, and more than like 85 cities, Alokji, they have given proclamation, means like recognizing the contribution of Sanatanis. So we all take pride in it. Abhi to shuruaat hai. I always say that. Abhi to hum, matlab like a toddler is just been, we are not even yet toddler, we just born. I must say that. We have to, because we were not letting them realize who we are. It was not their mistake. It has been our fault. But why? When you come out, there are initial teething troubles. Like we came, there have people, those who migrated to this nation from Bharat in 60s. So they wanted to establish, they have worked on $2 an hour. And
Yeah.
Emi Behra's father, Emi Behra is a congressman. He's a doctor by physician, also by profession. And they were in Chicago, a family who used to, his parents used to mop in Dunkin' Donuts. And he became a physician. He is a congressman. So as per our Sanskriti, our dharma, our Sanatan, we always want to contribute to our next generation. We always contribute to our community. We always contribute to the place that we have been living in. We don't use this nation as a prostitute, to be honest. We are contributors. And that is what
Okay.
people have started realizing it. And we are making all efforts to make them see what have we contributed. I'm honored to say that Dr. Dheeraj Kaul is one from a fraternity which gets the maximum respect. Every sixth doctor is of our Bharati origin. My salute and my pranam. Let this be President
In USA.
Biden. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. And even President Trump used to say that, Bush used to say that, because in their medical team, there has to be many Indian origin doctors. So kitne garv ki baat hai. But the sad part
So
is the
nice.
problems
Great.
happening, like the people, the stupid Napunsak
So we
Das who
can say
comes from
Hamara Bharat
Bharat.
Mahan. So yeah, like
Oh,
that.
of course. People have realizing it. And we have all taken a pledge that we come from that motherland. Uska jhanda bhi upar rahe. And to the nation that we migrated, we are contributors. Dhanyavad.
So nice. Anita ji, how just you analyze the misrepresentation of the Hindus and the Indian media, Bharati media, how there was some caucus, all the organizations are left oriented. We have been fighting together so many ways, either a Press Club of India and Foreign Correspondent Club, Women Press Club, and so many bodies.
No, for
How?
the scenario of foreign correspondent club has little bit changed. Please mind it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
foreign
Okay.
correspondent club
Yeah.
is
Got it.
changing. The
Got it.
flavor
Got
of foreign correspondent club is changing. Yes,
it.
the
Got it.
press club of India, we don't bother about the. मैंने जब हम जीते थे, it was
So
my last
now
time
I really
when I won
look
the
at
election. I have
Happy
written
New Year.
that
Yeah.
we 20 के बीच में एक रजिया गुंडों में फंस गई थी. It was a 21 people panel, and
Let me
I
go.
was
Let
only
me
the
go. Let me
rightist
do the
people,
premise.
and they
Leave
all
that.
the leftists. So it was by post कि रजिया गुंडों में फंस गई, 20 के गुंडों में फंस गई है. तो the in why we are bothering about those leftist people in Delhi especially, because we all know they are foreign funded, they have the only one agenda, and they are so uh, they are just squeezing themselves. Especially we will talk about in Delhi. Few people are a little bit of in JNU, and one Rayasina Road. That is your favorite place. That is Press Club of India. So, so one Rayasina Road, and we are living all those who believing in Hindu and Hindutva, and we are just talking about those people. We know that we cannot change them. कहते हैं ना कुत्ते का पूंछ कभी सीधा नहीं होता. तो left people, they don't change themselves. तो वो change नहीं होते हैं. Either it's Press Club of India, faces changes, but the culture is same. I just feel pathetic. Why people, the so-called intellectual, the media people, they call themselves, I am so intellectual, I am so vocal, I am so bold. But when they goes to the Press Club of India, all पता नहीं कहाँ चला जाता है. I just मैं थोड़ा कंट्रोल करना चाहती हूँ उसको
Please,
लेकर के.
please,
So
please. No, I
if you will
always
talk,
request you to control your emotions. Yeah, yeah.
uh, Rakesh, you are talking about the Indian media. Why they don't bother about the Hindus and Hindutva and all that. I cannot say that the whole media is like that only. Yes, there is a few section of media. They are just not bothering about their origin. They are feeling that if I am alive, my family will be happy, and this is the only the end. But they don't. Yes, this is the end for them, because origin means your root, and if you are cutting your root, it means your the maybe it's a banyan tree, but if the root is weak, the banyan tree will also fallen down. So this is the thing what has happened with the NDTV. NDTV has fallen down, and this has happened to the many journalists also. I mean, say either it's Puna Prashuna Bajpayee or Avisar or Ravish Kumar or Ajit Anjum or and many more. So I don't want to count them on my fingers, but these
No
things
need.
cannot
No need.
these
No need.
these things cannot eliminate the beauty of the Hinduism. These things cannot destroy the base of the Hindu and Hinduism, because this is not a panth. This is not a sect. This is a dharma. What do you mean by the dharma? Dharma means it's your duty. We always say ये आपका धर्म है कि आप ये करें. Means this is your duty to perform it. So when we talk about the dharma, Sanatana is a dharma, Hindu is a dharma which always perform their duty. So I believe that Hindu is a way of life. You are performing your duty. It means you are performing you are going with your dharma. And if you will talk about other things, they always believe that you have to follow the Quran, you have to follow the Jesus, you have to follow the someone. Though if you are following someone, it doesn't it means that you are not following the dharma. What is dharma? That your conscience allow you. When your conscience, your inner heart says that you have to do it, you have to do it
Okay.
in
Okay.
in favor of the humanities. You have to do it in favor of to save this world. You have to do it to protect your society. Then it's a dharma. And a Hindu, being a Hindu, I can say we always say, I have to protect my nature. I have to protect my rivers. I have to protect my humanity. I have to protect my these animals. I have to protect this earth, Prithvi, Akash, Vayu. ये सारे को protect करना, it's a duty of a Hindu. So they are performing their dharma, and this is the only
With
dharma
media also.
which,
With all
which
media
is
also.
the root of every panth. Yes. Yes,
So
Rakesh.
just time, no, time a break, and after that, Alok Ji and Dr. Dheeraj, I will take. Welcome to break. Just Anita ji and Vandana ji, so and the very special temperament and with the warrior mode, just he was describing about the Hinduism media. Alok ji, just with the European prospect, and I'll take then Dr. Dheeraj as a professional, how just he also he's a media friendly doctor. So how just you analyze the perspective of Hinduism and the comparative to the Bharatiya media, Indian media, and the European media, how they depict. Uh, One, do you have any fine change after 2014 when Mr. Narendra Modi became Prime Minister of the Bharat?
Good evening, Kumar Akeji and fellow panelists and our viewers. Did I see any change? Well, the last news I heard or read about India was near Diwali, and strangely, they were talking about some phenomena which takes place in Karnataka, where there's some festival. I'd never heard about this in India. I've been into tourism all my life. I'd never heard about it. I talked to certain friends from Karnataka, and they also said they'd never heard about it. It is that some people, there is a festival where they smear cow dung on each other. And this is the headline said that Diwali ends in India with a festival of smearing cow dung on each other. Did you know about this? Did you know that Diwali ended like this in India? It was first time news to me. So, even after you've lived so many years in India and you've lived abroad, when you see in 2021 a news bit like this and you call up your friends from Karnataka, because maybe I'm ignorant about Karnataka because I'm from North India, they said I'd never heard about this. And now that you're saying I've checked, yes, there is something like this happening in some small village in Karnataka. So that is the attitude. And it is not about only about Hinduism, it is about India also. When India was sending rockets to Mars, they were showing how India, ISRO wants to come in and join the space club, and they showed that the Indian scientist was coming in with a cow. So that, the snake charmer, the cow, the Maharaja, and slums make slumdog millionaires. So there is a certain pattern about how, media in general has been treating India. And in spite of the fact that what Ms. Jingran said, like, today another CEO is of Indian origin. It is a sad state of affair when we see how India is depicted in the press. And I think Anita ji took it slightly lightly, that we shouldn't care much about these left-oriented journalists. But I think they come up with an agenda, and this is not just happening. This is happening with a plan.
Yeah.
I mean, first they decided that they are going to bifurcate Hinduism. Do we or have you ever seen anybody saying that there are so many Catholics and there are so many Protestants? No. But when it comes to Hinduism, they'll talk about Hinduism, they'll divide it into Buddhism, then Jainism, then Sikhism. But they'll never do that there are so many Shias and there are so many Sunnis. And even if you see, like, I have no problems in going to a Buddhist temple or a Jain temple or a Sikh temple, but they will kill each other and they'll never go into each other's temples. Why did they do this? They did this because if we combine the followers of Hinduism, the Sanatan Dharma, and the Buddhism and Jainism and Sikhism, probably our numbers will be much more larger. And this when we are not converting. So I've always said that the original religions are Judaism, where conversion is almost impossible, and same with Hinduism, that they have not gone converting people, giving them some lollipop or some kind of a toffee. In spite of that fact, and in India, this trend is following. Why it is following is because, then they will come up with an agenda and make jokes. So there'll be a comedian who will come up and say, anything or everything about Hindu gods, or there'll be some painter who'll paint the Hindu goddesses in a way. But if you say something against them, then you become intolerant. Whereas the truth remains that from the Mughal period or even before that, Hindus have been systematically been, there's some kind of a phobia against them. So in the Mughal period, our temples were broken down, religious persecution was there. Same happens with the British come, not to that extent, but it doesn't. But even after independence, and having Dr. Kaul here, who better than him can tell us like how Kashmiris were prosecuted in India. And not only that, I mean, after Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, the massacre which took place of the Brahmins. So it is not only the Hindus, it's Hinduism, and then inside Hinduism, they want to cut off the head, the thinking part of it. And the thinking part of it is the so-called Brahmins. Now, what is happening is because of the reservation which was given, which is also part of the agenda, lots of these thinking people, people who actually use their brains to make their living. I'm not talking about Brahmins in general. I am not into casteism. But these people who actually are talented and they see that they will not be, recognized in India, then they think of going abroad. And in Manusmriti, which is against one of those books which is always criticized in India, that Manuvad and whatnot, and I'm certain that 99% of the people have not even read Manusmriti. What happens there is, he says that a Brahmin should be respected. Even if he's a criminal, because of his intellect, he should never be killed. Now, what happens is, this is being followed by United States of America. I have my personal experience when I went to take the US visa and they got to know that I was doing PhD. They gave me a 10 years visa. And before that, they just wanted to, before they got to know this fact, they just kind of were trying to throw me out. What does it mean? That if you have something here, they are ready to take you in. And that's the reason America today is flourishing. So what Vannaji is saying, or why Indian doctors are flourishing there, or why the Indian engineers and our IT guys are flourishing there, is because they have talent and they are respected for their talent in India. Sorry, in the United States of America. But this is not happening with the American press. They still try to pull them down. And even if you see the doctor series which are coming out from United States of America, you will not see many Indian doctors. They'll try showing mostly white doctors because it's a white dominant country. We know that. There is racism in the United States of America. We know that. But in spite of that, the Indian diaspora has been doing wonders all over the world because of this. I think Mannaji wants to add something. So let's see what she has to say.
I think one of the Prime Minister of India, one leader, did mention about the brain drain. They said the brain drain is anyway better than the brain in the drain. So there was one RBI governor. He came to Northwestern University,
Narsingara also mentioned
Kellogg's,
about the brain drain.
one of the topmost business schools in the top 5 schools. So I was there. He said an IITian, when he gets to the IIT, his soul migrates, his body follows after 5 years. And this they are saying with the great pride. But that concept has changed. Innovations, entrepreneurship. If the people, those who are born in Bharat, can make America what it is, like, the contribution, they could have done it to their own nation too. But the opportunities, I think the time is changing. It should change for good. We pray that these CEOs should have been the CEOs, because we should have the companies. We are still working for someone. It is not the creation. Dhanyavad.
Okay. So, Dr. Dheeraj Kaul, whatever Bandanaji is added and now Alokji, how just as a professional and a medical professional, how do you analyze the representation of the Hindus in media, either in USA and other parts of the Bharat? Unmute yourself,
Thank
please.
you for having me on the show. Very nicely placed by Alok ji, Anita ji, and Vandana ji. Very, very important points placed. So you want me to comment on the role of Indians in media in US, right?
The media, the representation of Hinduism in media,
In US.
American media also, and US also, and wherever you have experienced other parts of the world also, including Bharat.
So when you say representation of Hinduism means propagation of Hinduism, or you're talking about how rightly it's portrayed?
Rightly portrayed.
Okay, very, very good question. So
Yeah.
basically, let me come to US, and Vanna ji is here and everybody's here. I'll not go in other areas just to stay laser focused. I think the representation of Sanatan Dharam, where it should have been and where it is, it's huge difference. According to, that's my own personal opinion. I'm not saying where it should be. As a Hindu Brahmin myself, even if I consider myself as a inhabitant of a planet Mars with no religion, nothing to do whatsoever, if you start analyzing our Vedic rituals, our Vedic parampara according to science, because I'm a man of science, specifically healthcare and AI, it's it's thousands of years ahead of what we are coming to know now. I'm talking about thousands of years ahead, and I'm not talking some hyperbolics. Everybody here has heard the story of Jagannath Puri. I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard that a king traveled from Jagannath Puri to Brahmalok. When he came back, hundreds of years had passed. You know what that is called? That is called theory of relativity or time bending. Do you know when that theory was discovered? Few decades ago. What was written thousands of years ago in India. If you talk about nuclear warfare, Oppenheimer, one of the creators of nuclear power or nuclear weapons, look at his autobiography. He got inspired from Bhagavad Gita, and he quotes the incidences of nuclear explosion and correlates it to Bhagavad Gita, that it existed, what we used to call Brahmastra, or I will not go in that depth. The point I'm trying to make, where science and technology is starting to scratch, we already existed in our Sanatan Parampara Dharam, or whatever you may call it, thousands of years ago. So we are reinventing the wheel. Now, if you talk about telepathic medicine, which is the cutting edge, if you talk about holistic medicine, which is again the cutting edge in US, now picking up in California, you have to pay out of pocket. People are ready to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to cleanse themselves totally, mentally, physically, and somatically. So I'm talking to you about cutting edge of healthcare. So what I'm trying to say is,
That is only whatever you are saying, that is only that all the ingredients, all the factors, only in the Hindu philosophy and yoga, whatever now propagated throughout the world.
right. So the role of media is to expose what is truth. As a medical journalist right now, you talk to me on Omicron, I will not tell you what I personally feel. That's not my job. My job is to report the facts. So what I'm trying to tell you is, media could have reported these facts decades ago, but unfortunately there was a delay. And guess what, Rakesh ji, you will be surprised. I personally know so many people who are Jewish, who are Christians, even Muslims from different Gulf countries. They are learning this from the point of healthcare, and they are trying to do yoga. They are trying to do meditation. They are trying to use Om to watch the breath. But they believe in Islam or Christianity. That has nothing. They are
That's a different issue. Yeah,
yes,
that is different.
Bhagavad Gita. But the fact is, you cannot hide the truth. it is sun outside, I cannot say it's night. It's the truth. So the truth and the power of enlightenment is provided to you clearly according to
Yeah,
science as Sanatan Dharma.
yeah.
So I really wish media could have done better job in presenting it scientifically. And with time, we are getting there, but we have miles to go. We have miles to go.
Okay. So Vandana ji, just how Dheeraj, just as a medical professional and medical journalist also, he has writing in so many medical journal also. So just how do you analyze it nowadays? Do you think any changing? Just my question, the misrepresentation of the Hindus in the media circle and the media ways and the electronic media, print media, online media. Do you find any change? Any, I think, whatever perception wise?
Definitely. I will take up where Dheerajji left. Dheerajji said miles away. But I will add on to that, the distance has decreased over a period of time. Like if it was thousands of miles away, so now it's hundreds of miles away. So we are reaching to the goals, we are achieving it because, as he said, science cannot be denied. It is a fact. See, you can put the layers of on truth, you can put many layers of false. Like सत्य पे आप असत्य की जितनी मर्जी परत चढ़ा दो, but धीरे धीरे परत उतरेगी. If it isn't been gold, you know that over a period, you are muted. You are muted, Kumarji. You were saying something, but you are muted. So if it is a gold, but over a period of time, by lightening the lamps and stuff, the color has become dark. But if we polish it out, it will come out to be the pure nectar and the pure gold. And I'm very positive about it. I'm very, very thoughtful about it. And there is no doubt Sanatan is the way. And as he mentioned, like the physicians, even here, they are telling you to do some breathing exercises. They are telling you, because if you recall, we used to get a punishment. So they used to ask us ki kaan pakad ke uthak bethak karna hai. So now, because for the brain kind of things, they give you these kind of exercises. So you are surprised by that. Like
Yeah.
there is videos available, you can watch it. So we collectively, like this, you are doing your dharma today, conducting this show. Dr. Dheeraj is doing his dharma by participating as a panelist. So is Anita ji. So everybody, if puts their 2 cents, so the goals can be achieved. It may take a time, but it is something which is not impossible. It is possible.
So, Anita ji, how you are hopeful regarding the Bharat? Just the time has been changed and the moods has been going change. How the person going to change, editor guilds and so many media organizations going to be changed. Whatever, just hopeful, Vandana ji, sitting in USA, and whatever Dina said.
I think Rakesh ji, we must appreciate our criticizers also. So these are the criticizer, and ये खत्म हो जाए तो हमारे लिए भी अच्छा नहीं है. So it's good that I have my criticizers also. So I can understand my strength, that you are whatever you are saying. Anita is such a idiot girl. She don't know how to behave. She
Who
has
said?
a
Sorry,
she's.
I did not say.
I'm
Nobody
just
said.
giving example.
Why? Why
She,
this kind of
she is so
example you take?
aggressive. She is so vocal. She is blah blah and blah. So when you are saying this, then I will know that how I have to tackle you. Then only I will know that how I have to tackle you, and how I have to make more strengthen myself to establish on the world forum. So this is the India is doing. The present government is working in that manner only. And I'm totally agree with Dr. Dheeraj, because he has says that Sanatana has a scientific relation. Everything we always say that is the these are the Mahakal and Jyotirlinga.
But
Do you
Anita
know
ji,
the every Jyotirlinga has some kind of ray, some kind of line that is going on, and which is defining the earth. That if we will talk about the Mahakal, Jyotirlinga, the Akshans line is going on through that. The Akshans Rekha jo hai uske niche se hote hai. It is proven and it is accepted by the World Forum also, because there was some kind of misconception. I am just forgetting the name of Vishnu Vyasji, the Sishya of of Madan Mohan Malviya. It has a controversy created on that time that this line is going through somewhere in from Antarctica or somewhere like that. Then Madan Mohan Malviya ji has took Vishnu Vyas ji from Ujjain only, and they have has the good debate, and he has mathematically proven that this line is going through the Mahakal, under the line of the Mahakal.
Yes,
So that
yes.
was that was the aura of the Mahakal is so strong. So and the same thing is with the Somnath also, Omkareshwar also, and other Jyotirlinga also. So if we will talk about our rituals and our
Anita ji, all you know how we are rich, our philosophy has rich, and we are more than 15,000 years old. History is there, facts are there. But why just media is trying to ignore Alok ji and Dheeraj ji, in spite all the facts, all the richness in philosophy? What's the reason behind it? Very brief. Time is
Who's
just
the question for? This question is for the Dr. Call or
for Alok Lahar. Then I'll take the brief.
no? Why are they doing it? I mean, there is a definite agenda why they're doing it. I mean, first of all, in the previous times, let's say 75 years, the right did not exist at all. So it was like monopoly of the left in a way. Like if you see the opposition parties we have right now, uh, what is different between, let's say, Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress or Trinamool Congress? How is one party ideologically different from the other? They are not. They are not. So until now, until there is a party which is thinking about the Hindus, everybody was not thinking about the Hindus. I mean, the vote bank policies were always in breaking Hinduism, Hinduism into various castes, and uniting the Islamic vote bank. So it is one thing is vote bank philosophy, which was there, and the second one is the socialism. Now, in the name of socialism, plenty of things have been done. I mean, like the name of Islam, the Muslims have been cheated. Look at the plight of the Muslims today in India. All these years, 75 years, everybody is, trying to tell them that we are working for you. But what is the plight of the Muslim community? They are still, considered as pancharwalas today. I mean, you know it and I know it. And what happens with the left? Then the ideology of pushing the left is also the same. Like previously they were getting funded by USSR. Now they'll be probably getting funding from China. So, it is pretty simple. I mean, you are catering to what the demand was.
Alok ji, Vandana ji, and very brief, and Dheeraj ji, how we can just counter these enemies, just to protect the Sanatan Hinduism from this type of anti-Hindu media person.
Trust thyself, have faith in yourself, and you are not doing anything wrong. Vasudev Kutumbakam, we have not invaded anybody. It is a time to have our own narrative, not to follow their narrative. Idiots will speak, dogs will bark, and the lion will always walk.
Okay, lion will walk. Dheeraj.
What's the specific question?
Actually, a specific question: how we can counter them? Who was an anti-Hindu person in media and trying to depict the Hinduism in media and with distorted facts.
Okay, I'll just take 2 minutes. First thing is science looks at reality with the tools it has, and the tools keep updating. Like 200 years ago, we did not know there is something called prion, but now we know, which is not alive, which is not dead. It's something between article. 4 years ago, we had no idea that SARS-CoV-2 can come. 2 years ago, we had an idea, actually, it can come. So science keeps changing according to tool. But coming to your question, what you asked me, I think the biggest issue is we don't even understand our own religion. We don't understand the strength of it. First of all, we need to have the real knowledge. When I say real knowledge, I mean use the lens of science if you want to talk to other people. Because, devotion is very personal, but science is not personal. If you can prove something from the laws of science, which is very limited, again, we have very limitations in science, but still those facts you can explain of our Vedic Dharma. First, you know yourself, then you can teach others. So I think truth cannot be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come. But if we enlighten ourselves, that would be the first step, according to me.
Okay, so nice of you, all of you. Just you have mentioned all the facts about the how just Hinduism should be highlighted in the media and how we can counter them. We should be update ourselves with the all tools, all the skills, all the facts, all the research, just to counter them. And really, how we counter the whatever Vandana ji is saying, it just uh, anti-Hindu agenda in the different universities. I'm not going to name it, whatever they have just trying to make the campaign. So just as Vandana said and Alok ji said, we have never invaded to anybody. We have not distorted fact to any religion, but they are always trying. They should not. And for the sake of Hinduism, for the sake of Hinduism equal to humanity, there is all thing is that. And so we can say, just I just quote unquote the Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, in just Chicago 2018 and World Hindu Congress, they said the Hindu is the mother of all religions. But now we can say Hindu is the parent of all religions as per the facts, all the available now with all records and all the just references. So nice of you, just you participate in this program, and we'll carry on this type of program for the sake of the country, for the sake of humanity, and for the sake of the Hinduism. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.